White Rhodesian Jot Rodway is on trial at Fulchester Crown Court, charged with murdering an expatriate Zambian, Josiah Pembe, during a fight outside a Fulchester pub last spring. Rodway has pleaded not guilty. Mrs. Forrest is appearing on behalf of the Crown. The accused is represented by Mr. Bloom. The judge is Mr. Justice Caldwell. The case which you are about to see is a fictional one. The procedure, however, is legally accurate. The characters are played by actors, but the jury is selected from members of the public.
So, just to summarise, Sergeant Brown, you were on night patrol when you chanced on this fight in the car park of the Unicorn public house. As you drove up, you saw one coloured man run off, another two lying on the ground, and two whites in a violent struggle beside them, yes?
That's correct, madam.
You radioed for assistance, then approached the two fighting men, one of whom, later identified as Mr. Louis Botha, had an arm lock on the other man, the accused.
That wasn't immediately clear.
Quite so. It being dark, you mistakenly took Mr. Botha to be the principal aggressor. You grabbed him, and in the confusion, the accused broke loose and made off into the night.
Like smoke.
You then radioed for an ambulance for the two injured men, one of whom, Mr. Josiah Pembe, was later found to be dead on arrival at the hospital.
Yes, ma'am.
Later, acting on information received, you went to an address in Chester Road where, with the assistance of 3 uniformed constables, you arrested the accused, who, despite a severe flesh wound in the shoulder, attempted to resist arrest by threatening you with that gun. Yes?
Yes, madam.
Thank you, Sergeant Brown.
Just a couple of points, Sergeant. We've heard the hospital's casualty officer describe this flesh wound that he stitched up in Mr. Rodway's shoulder as consistent with a knife thrust. Was no such weapon ever found?
None, sir. A thorough search, but no knife, broken bottle, nothing.
However, the bloodstains in the car park indicated that Mr. Rodway suffered this injury during the fight.
So it would appear, sir, yes.
So the reasonable assumption might be that this knife wound was inflicted either by the wounded attacker, Mr. Zingai Tsauri, or by the third blackish pugilist that you saw running off.
Reasonably, yes.
However, another offensive weapon was found on the scene, you say. Could I have Exhibit 1, my lord? This heavy iron bludgeon, found, we've heard from forensic experts, to bear the handprint of the deceased man, Pembe.
Yes, sir.
So the assumption this time might be that Pembe had intended to attack the accused with it.
Or defend himself.
Oh, but surely you would have expected the former, an attack.
Sir?
Well, in your experience, do people normally carry offensive weapons just in case they're attacked after a quiet drink in the pub? Also, in view of the dead man's criminal record, convicted of disorderly conduct, various motoring offences, violence against a police officer. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And finally, Sergeant, this third pugilist that you saw running off, you took steps to try and find him.
Tried, sir, yes. According to the injured man, he was a friend of the deceased, a man called Marcus, also from Zambia. We've been unable to trace him.
It's hardly surprising, is it?
Sir?
Well, since he appears to have been a party to a concerted attack with vicious weapons on this unfortunate man here in the dock.
Possible attack, sir.
No further questions. Thank you, Sergeant.
Thank you, Sergeant.
Captain Henry Charles, please. And as a medical officer with a commando unit, are you familiar with injuries of the type sustained by the two victims?
Sounds like they could well have been caused by a CQB combatant.
By?
A man trained in what's termed close quarter battle.
Ah. Is this close quarter battle taught to your commandos?
Mm-hmm.
The fatal blow, the one with which, as we have heard earlier, the accused shattered the hyoid bone in the throat of the late Mr. Pembe, is that taught as part of this close quarter battle?
Yes, it's termed the throat chop, limited to life or death situations.
To?
Used only to destroy, unlike other blows which aim at disablement rather than fatality.
Disablement of the type sustained by the other victim, Mr. Zingai Tsauri, 4 cracked ribs, fractured radius and ulna in the left arm, dislocated shoulder. Multiple disablement, in fact. And this throat chop is used solely and deliberately to kill?
Yes.
There's no way that you can modify this particular blow to mere disablement?
Not that I know of.
You use it to kill or not at all?
Mind you, in
yes
the heat
or
of the
no,
moment.
Please. To kill or not at all?
Yes.
Thank you, Captain.
Just one brief point, Captain Charles. In the heat of the moment, you said?
Yes.
In other words, used in extremis, when the body had, say, taken over from the mind in defense of life.
Conceivably.
A man highly trained as a combatant, a member of a paramilitary assault force, seasoned in the sort of close-quarter actions fought in the Rhodesian Bush War. Finding himself unarmed in a fight with several men, two of them wielding offensive weapons, a knife, this iron bar here. This throat chop, it could be delivered instinctively in such a situation, delivered as, say, a reflex action.
It might, yes, depending on the type and degree of training, and of course the situation.
So, in this instance, such cerebral deliberation as this to kill or not to kill, mentioned by my learned colleague here, this would hardly apply. Rather, it would be a physical impulse to survive or not to survive. Yes?
In a man trained to a high enough level of combat response, yes, I'd say so.
A physical impulse to survive. Thank you, Captain.
Thank you, Captain. You may leave the box.
Call Zingai Tsauri, please.
Tsauri, please.
And the late Mr. Josiah Pembe, was he a fellow student of yours at the college?
No, madam. Just happened to meet Josh a few times at the SB Club. That's all.
No more than casual acquaintances, then.
Also, this other boy, Marcus, met him only on the day of the trouble.
Only on that day. Now, Mr. Tsauri, would you please tell the court the events leading up to the incident outside the Unicorn Public House on April the 4th last?
We three, Josh, Marcus, and me, we having a few drinks together. Just quiet, you know. When we heard him and Mr. Botha talking about Boss Smithy and his stooges.
About...
You mean Mr. Ian Smith, leader of the rebel regime in Zimbabwe?
Rhodesia, if you please, Mrs. Forrest. No need to confuse the jury by referring to countries which are not yet on the map.
They were talking about the war against the freedom fighters, saying and bragging together how the soldiers of the Patriotic Front are no match for Smithy's butchers.
The Patriotic Front being the combined guerrilla forces of Mr. Joshua Nkomo, Mr. Robert Mugabe.
The liberators. And this man, he's saying how he fought with the Jackal Pack, they call the Cellar Scouts.
Now, that is a commando unit used to spearhead the anti-guerrilla operations in Rhodesia.
Yes, that is right.
It's reputed to be the toughest soldiers in the world, huh? Yes.
The other man, Mr. Botha, he was saying how he is reservist troopy on regular duty in Inyanga and Chimanimani. Both bragging how well they kill, how brave their people. Also, how the freedom fighters are just bandits, going for what they call soft targets, village women and children, missionaries, soft people like that.
And you found this talk offensive?
Yeah, like drums in the head.
So what did you do?
We wait till they leave, then we follow.
With what intention, pray?
To talk with them, sir.
Solely talk.
Sure.
Why not do that in the pub itself?
Sir, believe me, if you're this color, you don't challenge white people in a white pub.
Challenge? Was that your intention, to challenge them?
They were insulting my people, calling us terrors and cowards and Bobby Johns.
A challenge can be non-violent, my lord.
Yes, except that the evidence we've already heard suggests that two of these challengers were armed with offensive weapons, a knife and that bludgeon. Were you armed?
No, sir.
Did you know that either of your colleagues were armed?
They were not.
To your knowledge?
Mr. Tsauri, yes or no? Had you violence in mind?
No, madam. We followed them out. Come up to them by Mr. Botha's car. Say to them, we want to talk.
Yes.
Straight off, this man, he gives a shout like animal. Ah! And he comes into us.
He attacked you?
Yes, sir.
Spontaneously? No threats first from these weapons?
No, sir.
And no verbal provocation?
Maybe I...
Speak up, please, so the jury can hear you.
I am saying, maybe I call him something, jackal scout, something in Shona. No more, sir. Then he comes jumping into us. He goes, ah, ah. Me, here, Mr. Josiah Pembe, there. Then he kicks Marcus away. Then he kicks me, here. And I go down from that. And he comes after me. And I raise my arms like so. And he goes chop, chop across here. I tell you, sir, this man, he come to kill me. If Mr. Botha don't come and hold his arms from behind.
And then?
Then come the police, madam. I don't know for sure.
One final question, Mr. Tsauri. Is it true that you were reluctant to come here today to give evidence?
Madam?
We've heard that when first interviewed with the police in hospital, you attempted to conceal your true identity and place of residence here in Britain. Why was that, please?
Like we say, monkey in trouble, eat hot pepper.
Speak up, please.
Sir, listen. If you came from Zimbabwe, if you had family there, father, mother, wife, brothers, all that, you would say you wasn't who you are, huh?
You were afraid of reprisals in Rhodesia?
Sir, believe me, you come from a racist police state. That's how it is.
This third man, this fellow that you called Marcus, it's not really true you met him only for the first time on the day of the fight, hmm?
Yes.
Yes, it's not true? Oh, come now, you'd often been seen in his company.
No. What is this?
My lord, may we know if my learned friend plans to substantiate this?
Do you?
My lord, my original understanding was that this elusive Marcus was a fellow Rhodesian and friend of the witness. Now he tells us that he was a Zambian whom he'd only met the once.
Then give the particulars from which your understanding is derived.
The depositions.
My lord, there is no such suggestion in the witness's deposition.
Very well. Nevertheless, I fancy you won't deny that given less incapacitation, less multiple disablement, you too would have run off into the night like this fellow Marcus, hmm?
Like I said, my family back...
Yes. It's very convenient to make dark allegations of reprisal threats from the police state of Bass Smithy. Well, now, I'm going to put it to you, sir, that far from reprisals, your sole concern was to conceal your combined aggression in this fight with the accused.
How you saying?
Well, you challenged the accused, assaulting him with various weapons, you a knife, the deceased, this bludgeon.
No.
And it was in defending himself against this vicious surprise attack that he inadvertently killed Mr. Pembe.
No, mister. Look, it's just like I said it was.
Well, we shall see. When did you first make the acquaintance of Mr. Louis Botha?
Like I just said to the...
Now, before you answer, let me warn you. We shall shortly be hearing from Mr. Botha. It's as well to give us the truth of it now rather than have him contradict you.
First time I saw him was in that pub when he was bragging with that man. First time.
As you wish. So you tell us that you heard these two white Rhodesians bragging about the Liberation War, and the three of you decided to challenge them.
That's right.
With words, you say?
Right.
Yet the probability whether or not you and your colleagues were brandishing these weapons is that it would come to a fight, hmm? No? Oh, come now. Isn't there an ancient Zulu saying, a man who will not listen to reason becomes wise when he bleeds? Hmm?
I don't know about that.
No?
Look, mister, I am not Zulu.
Ah, of course. You are from the Mashona tribe, yes? Isn't your father, this man that you say is threatened with reprisals, isn't he a sub-chief in a tribal trust land near Morell? Surely that's a Mashona region.
My lord, may I inquire what the witness's ethnic origins have to do with the case that we are trying?
Mr. Bloom.
A great deal, my lord, as I expect to demonstrate. Your father, Mr. Tsauri, isn't it a fact that he's collaborating with Paramount Chief Jeremiah Chirao, a fellow member of the Executive Council, together with Bishop Musarewa and the Reverend Setole, the Bas Smithies stooges that you referred to earlier?
Man, my father is a prisoner.
Really? Oh, not according to my information.
Prisoner of the situation. Either he follows Chirao's path or he's out.
Ah, now you mean that as a sub-chief, your father is politically compromised? Well, now, I'm going to put it to you, Mr. Tsauri, that you yourself are no less compromised.
Me?
Were you not granted permission to travel over here as a student solely because of your father's status?
Who says?
Permission which can be withdrawn at any time, leaving you in effect an outlaw?
Only from the present gang in Salisbury, mister. Only from that gang.
Granted. But the same gang that your father is obliged to support, and the same gang, furthermore, that I suggest forced you to conspire with Mr. Louis Botha, to conspire with him criminally to assault this unfortunate man here in the dock.
No, man, no!
Mr. Tsauri, are you in any way politically beholden to the rebel Smith regime in Salisbury?
No, madam. This man, he says false. I support the Zimbabwe African National Union of Mr. Robert Mugabe. I say that before the whole world, even if now it brings trouble for my family.
Thank you, Mr. Tsauri. My lord.
You may leave the witness box and go and sit over there.
Call Mr. Louis Botha, please.
Mr. Louis Jan Botha.
So, you were over here on holiday.
My mother's people live here.
And how did you come to make contact with the accused?
I recognized him in the shop.
Oh, you knew him from Rhodesia?
No, not to talk to, I'd seen him picking up a gong at a medal parade.
Ah, and then you recognized him in a shop over here. Where, in Fulchester itself?
Yeah, a Chinese takeaway.
And?
We got chatting, went and ate in my car. Then we decided to have a beer or two. And on the way to the pub, he told me to stop off at his digs to collect some photographs. Then on to the Unicorn pub.
My lord, may I ask, are these alleged photographs to be produced in evidence?
No, my lord.
No, I see. Thank you.
So then you went into the Unicorn public house?
Yeah, we had a few beers and talked about the situation back home.
Specifically the war?
Well, it's always the war, eh? Shared friends killed, zones of action, the rumours, prospects of a settlement.
Did you notice anyone listening?
I noticed this O and his two chamoises of his, yeah.
Did you sense any animosity from them?
Well, maybe. Oh, man, you get used to that.
To what?
Months, our black brothers looking stroppy, eh?
You're used to that in Rhodesia.
Well, they've nothing to look stroppy about over here, have they?
Who left first, you or them?
Us. And the next thing I know, they're coming at us in the car park. He's shouting and carrying on.
Only shouting?
Yeah?
What?
I don't know, something in Shona.
And then?
And then he just lit into them.
Just?
Oh, he gave a shout and piled in with his karate chops. He donned this over for a start, then on to the other one, the fat boy who croaked at Pemby. Then into the third one before starting on him again.
And what did you do, Mr. Botha?
Well, nothing at first. It all happened too quick. Only when he's starting on this one again, I decided I'd better try and stop him. So I managed to get a bit of a hold. Well, the next thing I know, this officer's climbing in and clobbering me. And he took off.
After which you gave the police the address of Rodway's digs.
Oh, man, what else?
Sorry?
It was him or me.
Sorry?
Well, hell, this Hotie's lying dead there. Sure as hell the law going to try and clobber someone with it. What else, man?
Most public-spirited, I'm sure.
Oh, look, he got what he deserved. Him and his chamoises
That,
both.
Mr. Botha, is for the jury to decide, rather than you.
And, weapons. Did you see any weapons being brandished?
No.
None?
It was pretty dark out there.
It appears that the accused was slashed with a knife.
No, I noticed that iron bar when they found it beside this boy Pemby, only then.
And no knife.
No.
Thank you, Mr. Botha.
You say that the three men were coming at us in the car park, at Tsauri shouting and carrying on in Shona.
Yeah.
Well, they obviously weren't about to ask you the way to church.
They were looking for trouble, there's no question about that.
Looking for trouble.
And look, Rodway just beat them to the draw. He got him before they could.
Now, you say that you'd driven together to the Unicorn pub via Mr. Rodway's digs to pick up these alleged photographs.
Yeah?
Well, you see, the accused denies ever taking you there.
How else could I have known his address?
We may well ask, Mr. Botha, mystery. But then surely you'll agree it's strange that if he had taken you to his digs, as you claim, that he should then run to hide there after the fight. Surely he'd appreciate the risk of your telling the police and avoid hiding there of all places.
Not really, he was wounded. Bleeding a lot, apparently. Also, he didn't know this hurt had croaked and that the police were after him.
Or he didn't know that you knew his address.
Well, how else could I have known?
An alternative explanation may emerge shortly. You are a Rhodesian citizen, loyal to the racist regime of Ian Smith.
I'm loyal to the Salisbury government. I wouldn't call it racist.
You yourself are not anti-black. Oh, come now, you referred to these 3 black assailants as boys, munts, hoties, and so forth. These are pejorative terms.
Not when you live with the situation we have out there.
Really?
Look, man, we fight alongside these guys. Almost half the forces are black now. Now, who'd go on patrol in the bush alongside troopies he didn't trust and get along with?
Excuse me, but I understood you to say that you were an agricultural officer with the Department of Internal Affairs,
Man, everyone's
not
a soldier back home. All whites who are fit divide their time equally between serving under arms and doing a civvy job.
Equally? My word. And with what branch of the Rhodesian security forces do you serve, Mr. Botha?
I'm not permitted to say.
Ah, yes, military secrets and all that. Nevertheless, we may assume it's something pretty special,
Not particularly.
No? Oh, come now. You tackled a man, a member of the exclusive Salu Scouts, a man skilled in karate and other forms of close combat, managing to secure an arm lock, subdue him until the police
I
intervened.
had an advantage.
Oh, indeed.
Well, it's from behind, unexpected.
Well, now, I am going to put it to you, Mr. Botha, that your advantage was that of a highly specialized police training in unarmed combat.
Hey?
Far from a part-time soldier, are you not, in fact, a full-time detective officer with the Rhodesian Special Branch?
No way.
I suggest that you were not over here, as you've told us, on holiday to see your mother's family. On the contrary, you were here on a top-secret mission organized by the accused's erstwhile commanding officer, Major Colin Campbell.
My
I never
lord.
even heard of him.
I suggest that the reason you knew where Mr. Rodway lived is that you had for some days had him under surveillance.
This is ridiculous.
And furthermore, that you had been in prior conspiracy with this man, Tsauri, with the deceased Mr. Pembe, and with that man, Marcus.
My lord.
Yes. Mr. Bloom, are you going to, these latest suggestions, are you going to offer any motive to support them?
Yes, certainly, my lord. I put it to you, Mr. Botha, that you were here because the accused had deserted from the Salu Scouts, doing so in possession of information potentially damaging to his unit and hence the Salisbury regime.
That's absurd.
Because of this, you were sent here deliberately to track him down, duly organizing the
ridiculous.
assault in the pub car
That's
park
ridiculous.
with the intention of forcefully abducting
No
or
way.
otherwise disposing of him.
The case of the Queen against Rodway will be resumed tomorrow in the Crown Court. Rhodesian Jot Rodway faces the charge of having murdered a Zambian. Yesterday, a fellow Rhodesian, Louis Botha, described how Rodway had launched into a vicious attack on Pembe, on Zingai Tsauri, and on a third black, when challenged by them in a pub car park. Later, under cross-examination, Botha denied being an officer of the Rhodesian Special Branch, over in England specifically to abduct or execute Rodway. As the second day of the trial in Fulchester Crown Court commences, the accused is giving evidence. The case which you are about to see is a fictional one. The procedure, however, is legally accurate. The characters are played by actors, but the jury is selected from members of the public.
So you had served almost 2 years with the crack spearhead unit known as the Selous Scouts before you deserted.
Do I say why?
All in good time.
One moment. The Selous Scouts, are they the cavalry unit mounted up on a lot of polo ponies?
No, sir, that's Grey's Scouts. The Selous operate mainly on undercover ops. Quite often, the regional jock, a joint operational command, they'd whistle us in as pathfinders for the fire force, like for the raids into Mozambique or for a sweep against a known Tur gang.
Turs being terrorists?
Right. But mostly we were on our own, out in the hotter tribal areas for weeks on end sometimes.
Pursuing a covert role, presumably similar to the activities of the Special Air Service in Northern Ireland.
Yes, sir. Except the Scouts get a higher kill rate. I used to reckon we bagged close on half the Turs killed.
Half? The Selous Scouts representing what? A fifth, a tenth of the total Rhodesian fighting forces?
Less than that, sir, less.
Certainly the elite. What was your rank?
Rifleman, first class.
Just a brief digression to establish the accused bona fides, Mrs. Forrest.
My lad.
So, after deserting and then journeying by night through the bush for several weeks, you managed to make your way to South Africa, and once there down to the seaport of Durban. You hid in the docks until you were able to stow away on a British ship, and it was in this way that you eventually managed to reach England in February, yes?
Yeah.
Having neither passport nor other means of identification, you lived incognito, in hiding, until the time of your arrest in Fulchester on the night of the 4th of April last, yes? Now, would you please describe for us the events leading up to that arrest?
From when I met him?
Please.
Well, it was like he said at the Chinese takeaway place. He came on with all this stuff about recognizing me from the medal parade.
You'd won a medal for gallantry?
Our whole stick. A troop of 8. Yes, sir.
And then?
We went out to his car for a talk.
Had you in fact recognized Mr. Botha from Rhodesia?
I'd never seen him before.
Yet, although yourself in hiding, you were prepared to go out with him?
Man, it had been months. Just hearing a Rhodesian voice again, someone from back home. The chance of getting some news.
So you were prepared to trust him, at least with a chat, later a drink?
But not the way he said, not with showing him where I lived. Oh, hell, sir, that would have been downright penga. Loony.
So you went and ate in his car, and then drove straight to the Unicorn pub?
Straight there.
Now, did you see these 3 men who later attacked, challenged you? Did you notice them in the pub?
Yeah, watching us. But from across the bar, too far to hear.
Too far to hear? Really? And then?
After a couple of jars, he got cheesed. Wanted out to another pub. One without F's in, he said.
So then you left?
As we went out, I noticed they were set to follow. I told him so too as we went round to the car park.
And what did he say?
Laughed. Said Fulchester wasn't the Zambezi Valley.
Ironic. And then?
Just as he's getting his car unlocked, they showed. Him round the one way with his flick knife, the other 2 round the other side.
You could see the knife?
Sir, from the streetlights.
Usher, the plan of the car park, please. Thank you. Well, Mr. Botha told us that it was too dark to see any weapons.
Oh, he could have seen. Except he was getting the car unlocked, opening the back door.
You're saying he ignored these 3 men?
He was expecting them. The plan was to get me into the back.
Of the car?
Well, that's what they told me. Get in.
Was he shouting in Shona?
No, they were all dead cool. Just a knife up like this. The guy Pemba waggling that bar and him ordering me into the back.
So then?
See, I twigged Botha must be in on it. I figured he'd grab me the moment he had the rear door open. So, okay, I had to move. I decided to go for this guy first.
Despite the knife?
Well, because of it, see? Well, better to see it coming than to get it in my back, eh? I gave this battle shout and jumped in. He was quick, pricked me up here as I came in, but that was all.
And then?
After that, geez, I can't remember which I hit next or how.
Now, Mr. Rodway, this is very important. Did you consider your retaliation at this point?
Look, I'd seen Pembe had this bar. Or maybe I'd done it him before the other guy. I couldn't honestly say for sure.
So your blows would have been what?
Defensive. From instinct. Like that commando guy, like he said.
But in resorting to this fatal throat chop...
I didn't know. It was them or me, right?
You believed, in fact, that you were fighting for your life.
I knew I was.
So then?
Well, I'd done it the other two, and by then he's coming back in at me. I'm just sorting him when Botha grabs me from behind, like he said. Then this copper piles in. I pulled free and gapped it. Scarpered.
Now, why that? Why run? You could see that Sergeant Brown was a police officer. You'd been attacked. Surely you could see that in running away you could appear to incriminate yourself.
See, I'd been on the run for over 4 months. I was here in the UK illegally.
Was it not that you realized that you'd killed this man, Pembe?
No, sir, I had no idea he'd croaked.
Ah, so rather it was what? Your instinct, once again, that's what prompted you to run?
Also...
Yes?
Well, look, they'd traced me, had one go at grabbing me. I was just set on collecting my gear and disappearing. The knife stab was worse than I reckoned. I kept getting dizzy-like. That's how the police caught up with me at my digs.
Where you at first resisted arrest with that Browning automatic pistol which you'd retained from your military service in Rhodesia.
Mr. Rodway, you say that they had traced you, tried to grab you. Who do you mean by they?
Him. The goons from Salisbury. The special branch.
Why ever should you imagine that they'd come after you, hound you all the way to England?
I deserted, sir.
And that's all? Your counsel earlier claimed you deserted in possession of information potentially damaging to your unit and hence to the Salisbury regime. What say you to that?
Nothing.
You deny it?
You had no right to say that.
Are you suggesting that it was a fabrication that you never told Mr. Bloom?
I told him to keep his mouth shut about it.
Mr. Rodway...
I never wanted no smart-ass like you.
Now,
On legal bloody aid, they said I'd no choice of a lawyer, so I get him.
Do you wish to change counsel? Do you wish me to withdraw from the defence?
No, Mr. Bloom, Mr. Bloom. I suggest we have a short adjournment.
No. I'm sorry, I didn't mean all that. I'm sorry, hey? You're trying okay, I'm sorry.
You know, you went to your case a little bit of good by behaving like that.
I'm sorry, sir. It's just this stuff over why I deserted, see?
No, I do not see. Please explain.
I can't.
Well, you must try.
See, it's the Scouts. Every time there's an atrocity, or slaughtering missionaries, butchering a bunch of elders or women, every time, sure as sun up, the bastards try and blame us with it. Oh, not the Turs, they're honourable liberators. I'll chop off some headman's ears and force his wives to eat them. Incinerate some piccaninnies in a Kaffir store. Or strangle some old Sfikira with his own guts. Oh, not the Turs, hell no. It must have been those savages, the Selous Scouts, disguised as Turs.
And my lord, while all this is most revealing as to the climate of violence to which the accused is accustomed, I fail to see its relevance.
All I'm saying, hey, if there's anything dirty happens, it's blamed on us. Them, the Scouts. Oh, one bloody inquiry after another we had, and obviously what they're afraid of. What my CO, Major Campbell's het up about. They're afraid I'll tell people it's true.
By people, do you mean the world press?
Amnesty International, people like that.
True, what? About these atrocities being committed by the Scouts?
Yeah, sir.
And were they?
No. Oh, some heavy interrogation stuff occasionally to get info on the Turs, sure. But not these soft target atrocities, eh? It wouldn't make sense, eh?
Yet that you're telling us is why they came after you. For fear that you testify falsely, out of vindictiveness.
Sort of. Oh, hell, I was right. They did come after me.
Oh, so you're claiming. Your tolerance for just one final point, Mr.
My lord.
Why desert?
Lack of morale.
Now speak up, please, so the jury can hear you. Lack of morale, you say?
Going to be a sellout.
Meaning what? A political sellout?
Yeah.
What, a settlement of the Rhodesian conflict? Free election?
My lord, with respect, Mr. Rodway, I would urge you to tell the jury the facts as you told them to me about your desertion.
Now, what's the point?
Well, truth can serve the innocent, young man.
I had this bind going with my stick leader, Corporal Cobby Muller. It was him or me.
Him or you?
It reached the point where we either shot it out or I gapped it. Did a bunk.
You mean deserted? And it was just a matter of a soldier's quarrel?
No, sir. Matter of survival.
So you're telling us you had a to-the-death quarrel going with this Corporal Muller, and you deserted because of it?
Yeah.
Why? Because you killed him, too?
No.
Oh, you don't sound too certain.
Look, the only way for me to stay would have been to kill him.
Ah, so you took the merciful course of deserting your unit instead. And now, because of that, you claim, your CO, Major Campbell, has got the rebel government in Salisbury to sneak over a special branch officer, this agricultural officer, Mr. Louis Botha, to organize your abduction or execution.
Not for the desertion.
Ah, no. Because they are afraid you'll tell people it's true about the atrocities committed by the Scouts. Afraid that you'd lie about such things to Amnesty International. Ah, well, really. You see, I'm now going to put it to you, Rifleman Rodway, that you are asking the jury to believe a bizarre cloak and dagger fantasy.
Oh, he came after me.
Or else he came on a harmless holiday, as he has said, and chanced to recognize you.
No.
Isn't it true that the rebel Smith regime has its back against the wall, on the verge of economic collapse due to 13 years of sanctions and a siege economy? Every available man, white man, doing half his time in military service?
Yeah.
And yet you're claiming they'd have the spare resources to spirit over a special agent to organize your abduction or execution, a mere deserter.
Yeah.
A man who more logically they're going to regard as just one bad apple in the barrel, a bad apple they are well rid of and would happily forget. My lord, I fancy Mr. Bloom wishes to communicate something to his client.
No, my lord.
However, when his lordship first asked you your reasons for your desertion from the Scouts, you did say lack of morale, going to be a sellout. Meaning a political sellout, resulting in majority rule for the indigenous black population, yes?
Yeah.
Ah, well, now, surely your desertion makes much more sense in those terms.
If you say so.
Don't you say so? Isn't it true that these notorious, zealous Scouts, of whom you were an active, indeed decorated member, isn't it true that they are hated and feared above all by the forces of the Patriotic Front?
Oh, sure. The same with these SAS people you just said about in Ireland. I really get the IRA on the run, those guys.
Yes. Well, you've already boasted how the Scouts kill more freedom fighters than all the other units put together. Indeed, both the front's leaders, Mr. Nkomo and Mr. Mugabe, have repeatedly rejected the question of a ceasefire until the zealous Scouts, let's just abbreviate it to SS, are disbanded.
Naturally, they're saying that.
Naturally. So it also follows that after independence to Zimbabwe, anyone, black or white, who served with the SS...
My lord, I must protest at this abbreviation.
The SS?
Yes.
The cap does seem to fit. As your lordship pleases. In any event, anyone who served with the Scouts would be vulnerable, the target of vendettas, charges of atrocities, and so forth.
I suppose so.
Oh, but yes. So indeed it was very shrewd of you to chicken out when you did.
I didn't chicken.
I'm sorry. I understood that was a vernacular for all whites currently scuttling off the Smith roost. Pity your wife and children couldn't have joined you in the chicken run.
Hell, I'm not even married.
I see. An assumption.
My fiancé burned, hey? My mother lost a leg. A box mine. Soft targets, hey?
I'm sorry. Presumably that is why you were spurred to fight with such valor in your regime's toughest unit. Out of vengeance.
Look, I was fighting for my country, hey? Mine. Born there, my father born there, helped to break it in, to civilize it. And then because of a bunch of commies in the Kremlin trying to cash in, get their puppets in control, we get war. Oh, if you people could just see, eh? The old Munts, they're not into a race war like you people make out. They're fighting beside us, fighting communism.
Oh, come now, Mr. Rodway.
Okay, so some of them are fighting a tribal war, the old rivalry between Mashona and the Matabele. But it's not what you people say. Not anymore, not racist. The only fight now is to avoid another Angola.
Yes. Well, I'm sure a lot of people might sympathize with those views, even if many others might detect the familiar ring of Salisbury propaganda behind them. Not that you can be blamed for swallowing the slogans put out by the Smith War Command.
Oh, damn it, I was there, in it. I knew the score. I could see it day in, day out.
From the front line, if not from Government House in Salisbury. In any event, as you've told us, your desertion had nothing to do with any such thing, be they propaganda or fact.
A fact.
Your desertion was forced by a blood quarrel with this, Corporal Muller, for which you tell us the Salisbury gang are desperate to hunt you down in case you start spreading false propaganda about the operational methods of their notorious SS.
No.
No? What? No, they're not desperate to track you down?
The bind with Muller, his bloody brutality.
Against whom? You?
No. Anyone he could see as the enemy.
Go on.
Oh, forget it.
My lord, I feel that my client should be encouraged to unburthen himself of this.
Oh, sure you would, eh?
For your own good.
Good of the anti-Smith gang, too, yeah?
Mr. Rodway, all you're being asked to do is to explain something that you yourself introduced into this trial. Your quarrel with Corporal Muller. Now, having revealed so much...
Okay, you can all bloody judge it. And judge me too, eh?
Now, you claim that your quarrel arose because of Corporal Muller's brutality.
What you got to see with a bloke like him, he's been pushed too far.
To the point of obsession?
Oh, vengeance, you said earlier, eh? That was Cobby. The whole Muller family, his old folks and 3 sisters, all taken out with a rocket in their farmhouse up in the Vumba. After that, no limits. Driven, eh? Any old munt in the contact area, pow, out.
Killed. And what did you do about it?
Tried to stop him. Reason with him.
You didn't report him?
No, how could I, eh?
Easily enough.
Oh, not in that war. A week's in the bush together. You either fought as a stick, a team, or you bought your lot.
Surely, if you...
Oh, look, I tried, eh? I put in for a transfer, but...
Yes?
Oh, that was just before the medal.
Awarded to the whole stick of 8, you say?
After that, the members got to be, you know, like a special.
Members?
That was his name for us. Cobby's members.
Ah. All white?
No. Half and half.
So, finally, disillusioned both with his cruelty and the war itself, you'd had enough. Decided to desert.
I wish to God I had. Wish I'd used my scop. We were on a covered op in a frozen area.
Frozen?
This new ceasefire nonsense started since the settlement. They'll take, say, a whole TTL, a tribal area, and freeze all security sweeps so that the bishop's boys can go in and parley with the Turk commanders.
To persuade them to accept the amnesty.
Oh, some hope. Anyway, that was the idea.
So you were sent into this so-called frozen area illegally?
Only on the very edge, mind. Down in the Josh Thorn near the Zambezi River. The 5th day in, we'd worked round near this Catholic mission for the Makori Kori. Hot like a furnace down there. A mile after mile of dense thorn bush, cut with game tracks. Hell's Quarter, eh? Well, this 5th day we're staked out at intervals, covering the track to the mission. I heard their trucks start up about midday. They're silent there, you can hear for miles downwind. Then after a while I heard its engine cut. I tried to check with Cobby. No joy. I reckoned his radio was on the blink. I'd best make a recce. Just ghosting along beside the track when there are these screams. And then I see this white woman, one of these nuns, with this munt after her. Oh, she was bleeding like hell. I didn't think. I just hit the munt and started to run for the truck.
Hit him?
I shot him. Automatic.
I see. And then?
Halfway to the truck, I see Cobby's there ahead of me. At first I didn't twig. I figured he'd heard the screams like me. And then I see he's holding this machete, covered in blood. I also realized this Mund I'd hit wasn't a Tur at all, but one of our guys.
A fellow member?
Next thing, Cobby's jumping for his gun. I reckon he'd have hit me too, except for the priest. What was left of the poor bastard.
The priest intervened.
Cobby tripped over him as he went for his gun. He gave me the chance to shoot first.
So you did shoot Morell?
I only winged him. Next thing, someone else is blasting at me from the Josh.
Another member?
Oh, must have been Cobby. He was yelling for him to get me. I took off.
Just ran. Left them to their butchery.
The priest had it. The nun, too, the way she was bleeding. You want to hear how and where?
Why didn't you make your way back to your own unit and report this whole incident to Major Campbell?
Oh, their word against mine. No chance.
Why would this Corporal Muller commit such a barbarous act? Surely his pathological vengeance was directed against the black freedom fighters, the force who had killed his family, not white mission staff.
Oh, for one thing, Cobby used to reckon all the missionaries and the TTLs were helping the Turs, giving them muti, medicine, and shelter. Also, the way he saw this settlement, like you just said, he saw it as a sell out to the blacks.
So, by butchering the priest and the nun, in a way that looked like the work of terrorists, he hoped to sabotage the peace moves.
It sounds bad, sure. But listen, if you people could just see the tricks those Turs get up to, worst of all on their own people. Anyone, man or woman, could get turned like Cobby. Anyone!
I'm sure, Mr. Rodway. Even you,
The case of the Queen against Rodway will be resumed tomorrow in the Crown Court. Rhodesian Jot Rodway is charged with murdering a Zambian, Josiah Pembe, during a fight outside a pub. A Rhodesian student, Zingai Tsauri, also injured in the fight, claimed that Rodway launched into an unprovoked attack on himself, Pembe and another Zambian, evidence largely supported by the accused's Rhodesian companion, Botha. But yesterday, Rodway, who received a severe knife wound in the fight, claimed he acted in self-defense. He said he believed the three blacks and Botha were all agents of the Smith government come to abduct him because of an atrocity incident he'd witnessed when serving with the security forces in Rhodesia. The case which you are about to see is a fictional one. The procedure, however, is legally accurate. The characters are played by actors, but the jury is selected from members of the public.
So you're saying you deserted from the Zealous Scouts because fellow members of your Mambastic had butchered these two white missionaries?
Like I said, it was going to be their word against mine. Obviously, I had to run.
Obviously. Well, I can see that brutal atrocity if it occurred, as you've told us.
It did.
If it did, you would have every reason to fear the consequences. Every reason to fear that agents of the rebel regime in Salisbury would indeed seek to come after you.
They did.
And to fear it so acutely that when challenged by three blacks in the pub car park that night, you assumed they were Smith agents and launched into a vicious life-or-death attack on them in self-defense.
Oh, no mistake. He was with them on their side.
Or so you, in your haunted state of mind, imagined.
Oh, he lied about going to my digs with me. That proves it.
So you say. He says otherwise.
Oh, sure. His word against mine.
Indeed. Just as no doubt it was the word of Corporal Muller and the others in your Mambastic against yours, that it was they, rather than you, that butchered those poor, wretched missionaries.
My lord. Stick to the main issue, Mrs. Forrest.
Surely, my lord, the details of this monstrous slaughter in the Zambezi Valley have become part of the issue, introduced by the accused in his own evidence. May I ask if the defence plan to call any witness to corroborate this?
No, my lord.
Is there any public record of it?
It seems that a couple of white mission staff were reported missing from that area last December, my lord.
Only missing, nothing more.
Well, the Salisbury regime are adept at suppressing such details.
So you believe?
My lord, numerous references have been made to this Major Campbell, the accused commanding officer in the Zealous Scouts. If he were called, we might get some answers.
I rather doubt he'd be released from service to travel from Rhodesia to give evidence.
My lord, the prosecution took the liberty of contacting Army headquarters in Salisbury.
Really?
Major Campbell has indeed been made available.
To come here as a witness? Extraordinary.
If the court is agreeable, my lord.
If you think that he can give relevant evidence, you can see if you can get him here. But I'm not promising to allow him to be called. You'll have to convince me that he can give relevant evidence.
Very good, my lord. You say you stowed away on a British ship in Durban, slipped into this country illegally, and hid out until your arrest last April.
Yeah.
Why? Why not surrender to the authorities, ask for, say, political asylum?
Oh, you think I'm Penga?
The UK is technically at war with the rebel regime in Salisbury. Certainly no question of any extradition agreement, no matter how heinous the crimes you may be wanted for in Rhodesia.
Oh, look, extradition or not, they weren't going to leave me be.
Oh, they being this Major Campbell and his white masters in Salisbury.
Best thing was to stay lost. Start a new life, a new identity.
Oh, prudent enough, I suppose. What with the deaths of 2 missionaries hanging over your head?
I told you!
Ah, yes. Killed by the pathological Cobby Muller and the others. And they were to be left unchallenged, their butchery unrecorded, because you had decided it was safer that way? Best to let sleeping dogs lie, best to forget all about what you had seen and start a new life, yes?
No.
No what?
I wasn't going to leave it.
Oh, in the fullness of time you were going to report it.
I already tried it once.
Oh, yes.
I went to the Amnesty International people in London.
When was that?
End of March.
You reported this atrocity incident to them?
I tried, sir.
Well, surely you either did or you did not.
See, when it came to it, they kept pushing me. A name, address, all that. In the end, I got choked.
You felt you couldn't trust them with your name and address?
No.
Why ever not? They maintain a strict rule of confidentiality.
Sure. Anyway, I tried.
So you say.
I did!
Can you prove it?
My lord, steps will be taken to trace whoever it was that Mr. Rodway spoke to them.
A bod called a Link something.
Linklater?
Yeah.
Inigo Linklater.
Well, we shall endeavour to call him, my lord.
Yes, at the taxpayer's expense.
My lord, I am acquainted with Mr. Linklater. I fancy the prosecution can take this on trust. Accept that the accused did at least visit Amnesty International.
A worthy concession, Mrs. Forrest.
I can imagine how the accused might well have clashed with a man of the sensibilities of Mr. Linklater. So at least you got as far as Amnesty's offices.
I should have used my scop. Stayed away.
I'm sorry.
I reckon that's how he got onto me.
You're suggesting that the sinister Mr. Botha was notified by Amnesty International?
Watching the place, eh? Waiting for me to show.
Oh, now, really?
Look, it was only a couple of days after I showed up there they made their grab.
Alleged grab?
It was!
Or what you, in your haunted state of mind, took to be a grab. Reacting to these poor, unfortunate blacks with such ferocious and, as it turned out, fatal consequences. I have no further questions.
Just to recap, Mr. Rodway, you were threatened by these men, this one brandishing a knife and ordering you into the back of Mr. Botha's car.
All right, hey? Obvious the 4 of them were there to get me.
And believing this to be because of what you had witnessed 4 months previously in the Zambezi Valley, you took prompt retaliatory action.
It was that or curtains, hey?
You acted, in fact, solely in self-defense.
Right.
Thank you, Mr. Rodway, Lord.
You may return to the dock.
The whole truth and nothing but the truth.
We are obliged to your superiors, Major Campbell, for releasing you from active service to fly here like this.
If I may be permitted to say so, sir, my government is anxious that this whole affair should be given the frankest possible airing.
Yes, no doubt.
Major, you have been named repeatedly during the course of this trial. The primary allegation being that you conspired with the Rhodesian Special Branch to spirit an undercover officer over here to track down the accused, Rifleman Rodway, with the express purpose of abducting or executing him. How say you to that?
Preposterous nonsense.
You deny it?
Most emphatically, yes.
Do you recognize the accused?
Yes.
Do you recognize anyone else in the court?
No, madam.
How about this man? Stand up, would you please, Mr. Botha?
No.
Thank you. And have you or anyone associated with your command taken steps to trace the accused?
It's true we'd like to question him, yes. But frankly, even if we wanted to, there's no way we could mount the sort of retrieval operation you're suggesting.
Well, why is that, Major?
No facilities. Heavily outnumbered back home. Well, it's all we can do to contain the war, maintain internal security. Much less come chasing after deserters like Rodway.
Thank you. Yet you say you're anxious to question him.
Yeah?
On what score?
The circumstances of his desertion. But it's all sub judice anyway, so I'm afraid I can't talk about it.
Sub judice, Major?
The subject of a court-martial inquiry, sir.
Major, I take it you can tell us about the training of your men, these famous Selous scouts.
To a limited extent, I suppose.
Intensively rigorous, yes?
Seldom more than a handful make it to colours. Only a dozen selected out of the last batch of 90.
Selection for what qualities, Major?
Tracking, unarmed combat, marksmanship, tribal languages, primarily survival, sir.
Difficult to select for that.
Our methods are pretty well tried now, sir. Just kick them out on a bush trek for a month with a full pack and no grub, other than a little sudza meal. If a man can't stomach bush fruits and snake meat and the like, if he can't live off the land like a bushman and hump a 70-pound pack around with him, well, he won't survive as a scout.
And on the combat side, you train them in karate?
A form of it, yes. We get into dense bush country in the wet season, really close combat. Now, a man can be as fit as Tarzan, he won't survive if his reflexes aren't toned. Well, karate's A1 for that.
So, in a tight spot, you'd expect a man like Rodway to resort to, say, the throat chop as a conditioned reflex.
Man, he'd be jackal meat if he didn't.
Jackal meat if he didn't. Thank you. Now, Major, the circumstances surrounding Rodway's desertion.
I've already told you.
Yes. A court-martial inquiry. Nevertheless, the defendant has made certain claims regarding the incident, claims which I rather fancy you might prefer to air.
Sir?
Oh, come now. The reason we've been granted the privilege of your presence here, don't let's pretend it's out of Mr. Ian Smith's sympathy for the due process of the British judicial system.
As I said earlier, my government is anxious.
Yes. Anxious that this whole affair should be given the frankest possible airing.
Correct, sir.
In other words, a whitewash for your government.
On the contrary, sir.
No? Well, then stop hiding behind this sub judice nonsense. Tell us about the massacre of these two missionaries.
Your people reported them missing early in December, yes?
Sir.
But if what Mr. Rodway tells us is true, their mutilated remains were available.
No, sir, neither body was ever found. A search was carried out after the engagement, as thorough as that Josh Thorne terrain down there in the valley would allow, but with no success.
Engagement?
That's right. Sir, a full account of it was reported by the stick leader, Corporal Jacobus Miller, if you'd like to see it.
It's tantamount to hearsay, my lord.
Prejudicial to the accused, no doubt.
I certainly wouldn't say so, sir.
No, really? Well, let's see it then.
There's two more here for them.
Plus copies. How convenient.
I did anticipate questions on this, sir.
Yes, evidently. Well, barely prejudicial, Mr. Bloom.
It's at variance, but under the circumstances.
Well, just the relevant passages.
Yes.
Shortly before dark, heard screams from mission buildings, making approach when ambushed by terrorist group estimated at 15. Rifleman Chivwara killed, Corporal Muller wounded in left leg, returned fire until ambush disengaged, ordered pursuit, heard subsequent exchanges of fire. Rifleman Rodway missing, presumed dead. At first light, stick members followed Ter Spoor to Zambezi River, identified marks of rubber assault craft, presumed mission staff abducted. Yes. Well, as you said, variance from Mr. Rodway's account. However, it's easy enough to appreciate why.
Too bloody right.
No.
Major, you say that this report is the subject of an inquiry.
Only that aspect of it concerning Rifleman Rodway, following his arrest here last April.
I see. Well, may we ask what Corporal Muller had to say when he heard that Rodway had reappeared here in England?
He never did hear, sir. Corporal Muller was killed in action, together with the other members of his stick last January.
Died? How?
I'm not at liberty to say, sir.
Well, may we assume that it was honorably?
You may, yes.
Well, the description of Muller's conduct given us by the accused is anything but honorable.
Really?
He told us that he saw Muller and a fellow member butchering these two missionaries, that he shot the one and then wounded Muller before retreating under fire from a third member and then decided to desert.
Did he?
And you've no other comment to offer?
Since none of it can possibly be substantiated one way or the other.
Because the other witnesses are now all dead?
Regrettably, yes.
Convenient.
I don't quite follow you.
The word of dead heroes versus that of a man who deserted.
Sir.
The only mystery being why else, assuming that this version that Jot Rodway has given us is untrue, why else he should have chosen that moment to desert? Well, Major, I suggest that there's another very logical explanation, namely that this document is a gross fabrication.
I don't follow you.
I am suggesting that Muller reported a very different version to you, presumably along the lines that he and Rifleman Chivwara had surprised Rodway in the act of butchering these missionaries, that Rodway then panicked, shooting Chivwara and wounding Muller before making off into the bush.
Now look.
Well, naturally, since such a version would have reflected disastrously on the reputation of a unit under your command, you and your masters deemed it expedient to suppress Muller's version, simply reporting the two missionaries missing.
Now, this is crazy.
Or expedient, Major. Surely, it was a simple enough matter, with Muller and the other key witness conveniently killed in January, for you to concoct this sanitized version, attributing the whole macabre crime to a gang of terrorists.
That document is exactly as Jacobus Miller reported it. I had no reason to doubt it then, and nor do I now.
Really? Even though you now know that Rodway was not killed as presumed, that he deserted because he tells us...
I don't buy one word of that garbage about Miller and the others.
Then why should he desert?
Oh, he had some sort of vendetta going with Miller. I don't know what about. Well, Miller was a pretty fearsome character. I guess Rodway just grabbed the chance to chicken out.
Well, we now have what I suggest is a far more plausible explanation from the man himself. You tell us that Muller was a pretty fearsome character.
Yes.
In fact, you had on several occasions prior to this incident had to interrogate him for alleged acts of brutality.
None of them was ever substantiated.
Nevertheless.
Look, every time there's an atrocity committed by the Terrors, they try and blame it onto the Scouts. As a result, we're stuck with one such inquiry after another. Miller was bound to come in for questioning. Well, so did a lot of other people. He was questioned too, as often as Muller.
Isn't it a fact that Muller's parents and sisters were killed by a terrorist rocket assault on their farm?
I believe so.
And that as a result he was driven to a pathological urge for vengeance?
Look, I'm a soldier, not a psycho. All I know is the man fought and died with valor, as did the other members of his stick, with the one exception of that deserter sitting there.
A man who had nevertheless applied for a transfer from that stick. Yes? Yes?
Yes. Well, damn it, that proves He had a hassle going with Muller.
Yes, indeed, over Muller's brutality. Thank you, Major Campbell. I have no further questions.
Major Campbell, so far as you and your masters were concerned, there was no suspicion of any butchery of these missionaries, either by Rodway or the other members of the Mamberstick?
Certainly not, madam. We had no reason to doubt Corporal Miller's account of the engagement.
Quite so. With the accused missing, presumed dead, why should you doubt it?
Exactly, madam.
So there was absolutely no question of you spiriting agents over here to watch the officers of Amnesty International on the off chance that Rodway might turn up there to accuse the zealous scouts of this barbarous act?
Alleged act.
Yes or no?
No question whatsoever.
Members of the jury, let us consider the account of this monstrous slaughter in the Zambezi Valley, described to you by the accused. You may think it has the vivid if chilling ring of truth, an incident from a war noted for its excesses of brutality, told to you by a man who can only be described as yet another of that war's victims, brutalized both by the harshness of his combat training and more so by the remorseless slaughter during countless bloody engagements in the bush. In consequence, he ran in mortal fear of his life, haunted by the persistent, nagging dread that agents of the rebel Smith regime would endeavor to hound him down and silence him. These matters clearly provide an explanation for his otherwise irrational violence. Another explanation, and one that you may feel was amply demonstrated for you by his evidence in the box, was that this man is a patent racist, conditioned by his upbringing to react with violent antagonism to a black face. But the influence of a man's upbringing does not excuse murder. He may indeed be a victim of the Rhodesian race war, and you may feel some misplaced sympathy for him because of that. But let us not forget that other victim, Mr. Josiah Pembe, missing from this court today because he is dead. You have heard the evidence of one who survived, Mr. Zingai Tsauri. Bitterly offended by what he and his two friends had chanced to hear in the public bar, intent on confronting these two white Rhodesians with it, only to find themselves murderously assaulted, attacked by a professional killer skilled in close combat, to the point where he indeed left one man severely wounded and the other dead. Rodway claims provocation, threats, and a flesh wound from a flick knife, a weapon which has never been produced in court, and on which we only have the accused's word. His word, ladies and gentlemen, against that of the other two witnesses, Mr. Tsauri and Mr. Botha, who have described to you how he lit into them, gave a shout, and piled in with these karate chops, and in so doing resorted to that blow known as the throat chop, which we have heard is used only to destroy, solely and deliberately to kill.
Whether or not it was the case, Rodway believed that he was being attacked. He was threatened with a knife, as his wound proves, and with that heavy iron bludgeon. Now, as Mr. Botha has told us, they, the Africans, were looking for trouble, no question about that. Now, whether or not Mr. Rodway was mistaken in his belief that the attackers had conspired with Mr. Botha, there can have been no doubt, in the face of such weapons, about the threatening nature of their challenge. Thus, it was inevitable that the defendant should assume that he was in imminent peril of his life. And in such circumstances, what other than to resort to the conditioned reflexes of his combat training in self-defense?
A man is allowed to use reasonable force to defend himself if he is, or believes himself to be, under attack. So I suggest you ask yourselves first the question whether the accused believed that he was being or was about to be attacked, because if not, he is guilty of making an unprovoked attack, And if he did so intending to kill or to cause really serious harm, then he is guilty of murder. If you conclude that he may well have been attacked, or at least have honestly believed that he was being or was about to be attacked, you must consider what kind of attack it was he feared. Was it a murderous attack, or a near-murderous one? Now, this is very important, because a man can use reasonable force to defend himself. He can even kill, if it is the only possible way of saving his own life. So, did the accused believe his life to be in danger? And did he only use such force as was reasonable to defend himself? Of course, you must not expect a man to gauge too nicely just how much force to use in a fight. But if what he did was quite out of proportion to the attack, and if he intended to kill or to cause really serious harm, then he is guilty of murder. But if the force he used was fully justified in self-defense, he is not guilty of anything. Alternatively, if he used more force than was justified, but did not do so deliberately, but rather as an error of judgment, he is guilty of manslaughter. Now remember, the prosecution must prove their case beyond all reasonable doubt. If they do not, if you are not satisfied so that you are sure that the accused is guilty of murder or of manslaughter, you must acquit him.
Members of the jury, will your foreman please stand? Answer this question, yes or no. Have you reached a verdict on which you are all agreed?
No.
Have you reached a verdict on which a majority of you are agreed?
Yes.
Do you find the prisoner, Jot Andrew Rodway, guilty or not guilty of the charge of murder?
Not guilty of murder, but guilty of manslaughter.
The cases in Fulchester Crown Court are fictitious, but the jury is composed of members of the general public.